Welcome back to Urgent Inc. Voices Live. Hi, I am your host, Saliha Nelson, CEO of Urgent Inc., where we empower young minds to transform their communities. We're so excited to have you back here today. As you know, on Urgent Voices Live, we've been featuring our Bronze Bra Award winners. Yep, Bronze Bra Award winners. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about our Bronze Bra. It is part of a celebration we do every year for Women's History Month. And the event that showcases our Bronze Bra winners is called This Woman's Work, because women work hard. And also we have men that support women as well. So our Bronze Bra is not only awarded to men, but also women and young women. And we've had a couple young ladies that you've met in the last couple of shows, but now you're going to meet, guess what? Our Community Partner of the Year. Now, at This Woman's Work on March 26th at 5 p.m., we're going to showcase all of our Bronze Bra Award winners, but they're also going to have a special tribute to women. And it's going to be coming from our young creatives in our film, arts, culture, and entrepreneurship program, as well as our Rites of Passage media project. And so they have been working on short films, PSAs, photography, spoken word, and that's all going to be featured at this event as well. So not only will we be tributing about 6 or 7 Bronze Bra Award winners, but we're also going to hear the voices from our young people. It's going to be a dynamic show. And so you can RSVP at www.urgentinc.org. Just scroll down. You'll see a great big golden afro flyer, and you can RSVP right there. So we hope that you will join us. But today, guess what? We have for you a very special guest. And this special guest is our Community Partner of the Year. I'm so excited to introduce you to Miss Connie Kinnard, who's at the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau, a wonderful woman who's been involved with Urgent Inc. for a number of years. And we're so excited to be able to present our Bronze Bra for 2021 to Miss Connie Kinnard. Let's welcome her. Hello, Miss Connie. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful, and just so excited to be here.
Now, Connie, we met you several years ago. Matter of fact, I think almost for the very first time at a This Women's Work event. I don't know if you remember, but you did a fabulous rendition of Harriet Tubman. Yes, and so now we have you back as a Bronze Bra Award winner. How it's come full circle.
It has. Thank you. I do remember that. It was early on when I first arrived here. Now it's going into 6 years. And I think that was one of the events that I did, and I was reluctant. But I remember you and Stephanie encouraging me, you'll be fine. And so, yes, I created a monologue for Harriet Tubman.
Yes, and you did a fabulous job. And I know we were trying to search for video footage of that a couple of years ago, and we weren't able to find any. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish we would have had that. But maybe there'll be a chance to do a throwback This Woman's Work. And you'll have to bring her out again. So Connie, tell us a little bit about you, and so that our audience can get to know you a little bit more.
Sure. Thank you so much. 6 years here now in Miami, from Nashville area, Tennessee, and I love my time here. I love the fact that this move that I made to this area, definitely I believe it is a God thing, if you will, because I have met so many amazing people like yourself, and have been now engaged and involved in so many community things, and it feels really good. So I'm in the hospitality industry. I've pretty much been in it most of my life. I started in restaurants, then hotels, and now at the Convention and Visitors Bureau, Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau, where of course we work to attract tourism to our community, as well as particularly in my area and what we do. It's about making sure that diversity piece is involved in everything that we do. So that's
so,
kind
and
of.
you guys were ahead of the curve. You guys were doing diversity work before it became a hashtag. So that is, great that you guys were ahead of realizing that, diversity is a strength and asset in communities. And so that's one of the reasons why you have been chosen as one of our Bronze Bra Award winners. And some folks will be like, well, why a bra, right? Okay, well, let's break it down a little bit. The qualities of a great bra: it uplifts, it provides guidance, and it gives good direction. So these are all the qualities of a great bra. And so, I said, let's come up with something sticky. And so we came up with this Bronze Bra Award, and you and your work exemplify those qualities. And so we're happy to honor your work in the Miami community, because we see that every day. And then also, of course, you've been a champion for Urgent Inc. for the last since you arrived. So we want to say a special thank you for supporting Urgent Inc. and all of our artistic efforts and really highlighting the diversity here in Miami. Now, what do you have to say about why you're so passionate about the work that you're doing?
Mm-hmm. Well, definitely, we know that there's an educational piece in this world when it's specifically about what I'm doing in tourism. And then I'll talk about why I love Urgent Inc. as well. But in tourism, I guess I feel like I'm helping the narrative of education. And it sounds kind of funny you think in a tourism piece, well, how are you educating? How's that coming together? But, really digging deep and showcasing in our world, Miami to the world, connecting the dots to our communities, to tourism. It is an educational piece, whether it's educating really fellow stakeholders on, hey, everybody be aware that we have this in our community. Let's make sure we're selling and representing on the whole. Or maybe it's educating that potential traveler coming in on the fact that we have these things. It's the connecting the dots. So I think my passion is just seeing all of that come together and seeing results from it. Not necessarily for anything I'm just doing that Connie is doing per se, but just collectively as our department, GMCDD, and others. So that result and seeing it starting to work for me. And that's honestly my passion kind of for anything, being engaged in something and then just seeing just a little bit of the progress kind of keeps me motivated. And as far as Urgent Inc., I added that in. That might not be in my question, but I want to add that in. One of the things that I realized about Urgent Inc. When I arrived is that, and I say this not to downplay anybody else, but I love to see an organized, structured entity move and trying to make it happen. They may not have all the bells and whistles, but you see that there are people behind it, and it's coming together. So I guess when I arrived here and I was involved, I just saw how well put together it was. I didn't see flash and that you had everything that you need, but I saw how your passion for it, I guess is what I'm saying. So that's one of the things that really attracts me to Urgent Inc. The kids are wonderful. They're always mannerable every time I've engaged. So, kudos to the organization.
So thank you for those kind words, and we could not do our work, if we didn't have our community partners in place. And so thanking you to be one of our premier community partners who have supported not only the This Woman's Work event, but our Youth Economic Development Conference, a long stakeholder there, our Miami for Social Change Youth Film Festival. So you really know a lot about the work that we do, because we always have, you always say yes to, pretty much anything that we ask. So thank you for, standing strong with us over the last couple of years. And so now this is Women's History Month. So we always want to make sure that, we can give a shout out to perhaps some mentors that you want to give a shout out to, or to share a women's history fact that you want folks to know. Who would you like to shout out today?
Sure. I'll give a shout out to my mother. She's passed away, living now, I guess, in her best life. That's my hope. She's in her best life in the next life. But I always want to give her a shout out because she's definitely a strong mother. There was a recent session that said that you say to people, I am the great granddaughter of Ethel Daisy Thomas. I am the granddaughter of Elizabeth Covington, and I am the daughter of Helen Kinnard. So that downline of women for me on my mother's side in particular are strong. I have a play mother, Stella Bean Vincent, that has taken care of me. She's in Nashville, but she keeps up with her children, as she calls. Shout out locally to Carol Ann Taylor, who is just a asset in this community. There's so many. And Another shout out to Dr. Dorothy Fields. So there are a lot of women, but I do want to acknowledge those that have embraced me, especially since I've been here. And one of the things about Urban Inc., between you and Stephanie, you're nice. You have encouraged me. I want to be a part because of your presence. So, and honestly, that to me means a lot because you got to have that vibe to want to be involved, and that's one of the reasons why I like Urban Inc. Because I like you.
Thanks, Connie. I like you too. And that kind of brings it full circle because you have your mentors and the women that have embraced you and provided support, direction, and guidance. But at the same time, it's up to us to also kind of look back and share what we've learned. So, if you want to provide some words of wisdom or some motivation, what would you say to the young women that are coming behind you? What tidbit would you give them?
Wow. So I would say one of the things I would say would be to your money. Be smart with your money, smarter than maybe I was or we were coming up. Because looking back at my younger self, I would have made different decisions than I made. I probably maybe didn't make the worst decisions in the world, but my decisions were made really because I didn't have I was not educated on some things that I needed to do. Not really anybody's fault because it could be me missing out on that session or that class that said, hey, do you want to learn about how to invest? Do you want to learn about stocks and bonds? Do you want to learn? I would tell anybody from a younger standpoint to be engaged with those things, because if you're engaged with those type things that are based upon longevity early, when you get to be my age, which I'm not that old, but I'm just saying, when you get to be that age, you'll be in a better position to make choices and have flexibility, because it's like, hey, you get a job offer and you say, do I move or do I don't move? Do I move or not? Well, if you're set and you have a cushion, you never really have to be concerned whether you make those leaps and risks, whether you move or you do that or that, because you have gotten your money situated. You have a good savings, you have some investments, even if they're small. So I would say that number one, your money. The other thing I would say is tape your grandparents, your parents, your aunts, your uncles, the elders in your life. Make sure you ask them questions about life and things that are happening, because once that generation fades out, sometimes it's hard to get that history again. Ask about your family and your history and tape it and all that stuff. Because personally, I wish I had taped my great grandmother, who was born in the 1800s, and she was around a long time, long enough for me to have probably gotten more from her and documented. And so I tell people that now, don't take that for granted.
Those are two very important tidbits. One, the money management, and two, creating choices for yourself, and three, documenting the knowledge that exists in your families, and the wisdom that exists in your families. So thank you for that. And going back to kind of documenting, what you're doing, I think sometimes we don't even realize that history is happening in the present moment. And we don't understand that, take time to also reflect on what's happening. And so, during this past year with COVID, a lot of things happening, to kind of turn our world upside down. Kind of what has been the one thing in your reflection that's kept you motivated and, innovative, even in the face of constant change?
Absolutely. Spiritual connection. I have to say that, whatever motivates anyone in that spiritual realm, you have to hold strong to that. That is the time, this year pandemic, we'll use as an example. There are many times, but your spiritual faith and your strength and your spiritual connection, the Bible, or whatever it is that you're in, when times are down, that's really when you have to lean on that. You have to lean on your faith during that time. So, I mean, honestly, during that time, I had to remember what I'm thankful for. If you think about the thankful things, gratitude, that can easily turn your mind away from everything that's going on. And it's a daily thing. So it's not like, you say, oh, I'm thankful for this, and you feeling good the rest of the week. You kind of every day you have to figure out the way to say today is going to be a good day. Or if it's not a good day, I'm going to make it a good day because I'm going to think about what I'm grateful for. So I would say that's it. I try to exercise a little bit more, try to go walking a little bit more with nature, all those things. That's kind of how I maneuvered during the pandemic. Honestly, tried to it's almost like becoming a minimalist again, kind of going back to the basics and letting that be what centered me.
Thank you for that. I know everyone has had their own way of kind of coping and managing and really figuring out, now what's next, right?
Mhm.
So what's next? What can we look for in the future of Miss Connie Kinnard? Are you going to share anything? Do we get a trailer on what's happening?
Okay, so personally, just in my world, my life, you
Sure.
know, okay, well, I've always wanted to, and I've started a little bit, do some writing.
Okay.
What that may look like, if it looks in a book form or it looks in another form. Very interested in documenting some things, not for really, I mean, of course, if it made me be a top author, that'd be great, but really more so just to be able to put my thoughts together in one place. So, I mean, I would say maybe that's on the horizon. There's some other things, some continuing education things I want to do. I mean, education, for the youth really never stops. It may not look like a college degree at this point because we've gotten past our degrees, we've done that, but some certifications and some other things to just add value to my life personally and professionally. So working on a diversity executive designation right now. So I'm actually in a class right now doing that. So that's something maybe in the future.
Well, that's great because, we want the young folks to hear that, learning is lifelong and you can always, add value to whatever space you're working in, but also from a personal, perspective. Learning is something that happens, constantly. So thank you for, the words of wisdom, the shout outs to the women in your network who have, provided you guidance, support, and uplifted you in times where you needed it. We here at Urgent Inc., as our community partner of the year, just want to say thank you so much for taking the time, not only today, but for the past couple of years, just really being involved with the young people and talking to them, supporting the work that they do. And on Friday, March 26th at 5 p.m. on Zoom is going to be another opportunity to really see what the young people have been working on, remotely, in person, hybrid. We've done it all this past several months. And so we're excited to see what's been on the hearts and minds of young people as they have also, been exercising their creativity even in the midst of adversity. But as we know, some of the greatest art comes out when things are just going crazy. So
Absolutely. That's right. Mhm.
So we're going to be excited to see you on March 26th as you accept your Bronze Bra award in person via Zoom. So we look forward to having you back in the next week. And thank you so much. Let's all give our congratulations to Miss Connie Kinnard. And we wish you the best in the future as you keep on learning, growing, and contributing. So thank you so much, Connie.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we'll see you next time on Urgent Live. Bye, everyone.